We're going to share our screen and we're going to get started. Okay, here we go. Let me go ahead and do this. So, if you've ever wondered, is it easy to get new customers? It's not easy. It is a process, but it's definitely possible. So, bam, I want to make sure that you understand that you can actually get 10 times more customers within 30 days. And we're going to go into what you need to do to make that happen. So, if you stay to the end, then you will actually receive a bonus. And the bonus is going to show you a little bit into how to turn people that are visiting your social media into actual purchasers. So that's what we want to pay attention to. So if you stay to the end, we'll make sure that we send that right over to you. So tonight, I'm going to share with you the actual blueprint that I use to scale not one, not two, but three of my businesses through a lot of trial and error. So I'm going to share with you the secret sauce on what you need to do to get yours up, going, and I'm going to talk about the three pillars that are really, really important to doing that. So who am I and why should you listen to what I want to share with you? Well, I actually was in the United States Air Force, and then I decided I wanted to get out and become an entrepreneur. I always wanted to be an entrepreneur. This was me in Atlanta, Georgia, actually in my first store, but I realized that this was not what I was meant to do. I wanted to do something that was more of a need instead of a want. Most people want clothes, they don't need them. So I wanted to find some type of industry that was going to be recession proof, that I knew there was a need, and I could leverage employees, made enough profit from it to do that. And the big thing was a contract. When you have contracts, you can actually, buy purchase mortgage, purchase a home. You can actually obtain assets because you can kind of be more secure knowing that you've got contracts that are going to be like for at least a year. I look for 3 to 5 year contracts. So once I knew that this is what I wanted to do, this was me and my crew. This is one of our accounts, Chesterbrook Academy, and it's a daycare. So when I started to scale my business, the first thing I realized that really makes a difference is they say riches is in the niches. When you niche down to what you want within the industry. So we know our industry is janitorial. We want commercial. I never did residential. But then within commercial, you've got to niche down even more because it's still broad. And the broader the net is, the more you're going to have customers fall through the holes in the net. So you want to tighten that net up in the beginning. So once I started doing that, that's when I realized that it was going to make a difference. So this was the first time I realized that doing a specialized instead of a generalized was going to make the difference. So once I did this, this was the first step to getting towards 6 figures and beyond. So a little bit more about me. This is me teaching, and I actually travel quite a bit teaching various entrepreneurs how to scale their business because this industry is like an $82 billion industry. So it's really great, and there's a lot of competition, but a lot of opportunity. So I start doing that online, in person, and then I started realizing I was getting the results for myself. I started in Florida, in Orlando in 95. So it's been 25 years ago, around in there. And then I was able to move to the DC area and start a successful business. And then I moved to the Maryland area, the DC, Maryland area, and did the same. So since then, we've been fortunate to have several students who have gotten great results. So as of right now, we've had over 1,597 students, and over 735 of them have gone on to build six-figure cleaning businesses and beyond. So some have gone beyond 6 figures with what I'm going to teach you tonight. So what I'd love to find out is if it's okay if I share with you what I have intended to share with you in the time that we have. And if there's anything else you'd like to learn outside of this, I'm going to give you a way to contact me to do that. Okay. So the first thing I want you to do, and I always say, please bring pen and paper, is to figure out what is going to be your big reason why you want to have your own business. So you need to figure out why you want to be an entrepreneur and why this industry, because this is a particular kind of industry. You've got to make sure that you satisfy your customers. It's a service business, not a product. So it really comes down to how well you train your employees. I do not teach this type of business where you're going to do all the work. So I'm teaching you automation, and I want to make sure you understand how to scale. And so you're going to make sure that you've got some great employees, well trained, and that you follow up with keeping them happy and your customers happy, because we do need both. So the first thing I want you to figure out, and I want you to write down on a piece of paper, is why do you want to be an entrepreneur? It's a special kind of place. I love it, wouldn't trade it, but not everyone understands why they want to do it. And I believe that it first starts in your mind before it can go anywhere else. So my one of my big reasons is I'm a big freedom person. I knew that I didn't want to have to go to a job on a regular basis. And I definitely had one because I was in the Air Force and then I worked a little bit after I got out. But I knew that I wanted to kind of navigate my own destiny when it came to vacations, when it came to the amount of money I could make. I didn't want a ceiling on how much I could make. I didn't want someone to tell me when I could take a 2-week vacation. So if that's resonating with you, it could be your children, your family. You want to employ your community, but definitely have your reason why. That's the first step in scaling your business to 6 figures and beyond. The second thing is I'm going to go right in and show you the customer journey map. You've got to understand where your customers are on the map, when they're going to purchase from you, and why. That all makes sense. So the first stop is you have to attract your customers. You've got to have a way that you attract customers that is a system. It can't be kind of like haphazard. It has to be a systematized way that you know this is how my customers are going to come to me. And then this is the process that I'm going to take to get them from the customer to a potential to an actual customer. So let's first stop is the customer attraction. Now, what are we going to do to attract? The first thing you have to know is your numbers. Do the numbers matter? Yes, they do. You cannot be successful in a business, especially our type of business, if you do not know what the numbers are. So my numbers were this. I would have contact with normally 200 prospects. And out of that 200, I would normally land one walkthrough. So our business is never normally sold without doing some kind of walkthrough virtual, because you have to see what you're looking at doing. You can't just go off the square footage. So you need to physically see the place. So the goal is what we call the call to action, your CTA. What is the point of doing all of this is to get the contract. Well, what are the steps in between? The first stop is knowing my numbers. I knew that I had to come in contact with 200 people to get one walkthrough. And it normally took me 4 walkthroughs to land one contract. That's not all I wanted to find out. I wanted to know what contracts did I need to get to 6 figures. So 6 figures is $10,000 a month and over 12 months. So I knew that in my area, the average contract was about $2,800 to $3,200 a month. So I knew that I needed about 4 or 5 of those contracts to get to 6 figures. So I started looking at what do I need to get there? So that's the first thing you want to do. Do your math. Figure out if you may not know what the average contract is in your area. That may not be something you can find, but you can kind of look at the average in if you're in a major city, if you're in a small city, it may be different, but then it also depends on what type of contracts. So we're going to talk about that as well. Dental offices, daycares, contracts like that are going to be small. They don't have a large budget. And the majority of the time, they don't have people that are signing a contract. Daycares are based on how many children they have. So if all of a sudden it's summer or there's a shift in how many children, it's going to affect how much they're going to pay you. So daycares normally pay between 800 to 1,000. That's about what you're looking at a daycare, chiropractor, dental office. The ones that are going to be your bread and butter, they're going to pay more, are normally going to be your industrial areas or your larger office spaces. Dental offices, law offices, all of those are going to pay between unless they're in a real large building, but normally that's what you're looking at. So if you're getting the smaller accounts, 1,200, 1,500, of course it's going to take 6 or 7 of those. If you're getting the larger accounts, so we went after the warehouses, Office Depot warehouse, FedEx warehouse, PetSmart warehouse, Petco. We went after the warehouses that actually put the product inside of the retail stores. So that was what we paid attention to. And we also focused on post construction cleanup. So we narrowed it down to one. We became really great at that one. And then we looked at other. So the first thing I want you to do after writing down your why is jot down, know my numbers. That's the second thing. Now, secret number one, you have to have a website. Nowadays, no one is doing anything with a lot of customers unless they have their website. The number one way that I have found customers to find you is Googling cleaning company near me. Do that and see what comes up. See if you're anywhere in the search. Look at what companies come up because those are the people that your customers are going after. Most people do not go past page 3. If you're not on page 1, which is normally ads, which I'm going to talk about, you're not on page 2 or 3, very seldom do they go past page 3. So the goal is to figure out where you are when you Google cleaning companies near me, and you're going to put in where you are. So let's say I'm in Texas, cleaning companies in San Antonio, Texas. And I'm going to see if I'm listed anywhere. That's going to let me know already how much work I need to do to get found with my customers. So the first thing you need to do is to get a website. You can do a free website, WordPress.org, all of that. Once you've gotten your website up, the next thing you need to do is actually understand. Back in the day, there was a brick and mortar. Traffic was driving by, and it definitely depended on what side of the road you were on. If you were on the wrong side, it was hard to get traffic because most people stop after work. So location, location, location was the theme if you had a brick and mortar like the clothing store I had. Same thing with your website. You've got to bring the traffic. There is never not enough traffic. It's getting them to come to you. There are billions of people that are online every single day. So it's all about, can I get them just a small amount of that traffic coming towards me? So what do we need to do to make that happen? The first thing you need to do is you need to register your business locally. So now we're talking about step number 3. You need to register your business locally because the majority of your cleaning customers are local. That's your market. That's your target market. That's your ideal customer that you want. So it makes no sense not to do local advertising. And what do I mean by that? The first thing you want to do is you want to get registered with Google My Business. Google My Business is the first stop when it comes to local attraction. So start there. The next thing you want to do, because Google actually can bring 7 times more business to you in anywhere from 2 weeks to 30 days. So I want you to look at where you are. If you're on page 15, you may not be anywhere. Write that down. That starts the measuring of where you need to go. So you got to figure out where you are to know where you need to go. So now you're on page 8, and your goal is to get to at least page 3. That's a good goal. If you already sign up with Google, you will start to see a noticeable difference anywhere between 2 weeks and 30 days. So that's the second thing you want to do. The next thing is there is a list of local listings. There's about 57. So what I want you to do is I want you to go to and Google, put in free directories in my area. And it's going to bring up, it's on HubSpot, HUBSOP, it's called HubSpot, HUBSPOT.com. HubSpot has an article that gives you 57 free directories. Now, Yelp is on there and it can cost, but there are several that are absolutely free. Bing, Google, so many. Manta, yellowpages.com, Foursquares. But you get the gist of it. You want to be listed locally. This is one of the ways you do that. Now, go ahead, make that a project so that you can start to see the difference. People are going to start finding you because they're looking for you locally. The next thing you're going to do is go back to your website and you're going to start making sure on your services page, your About Us page, and your contact page that you write something in there that allows the search engine, which is what the website is built on. You want to put certain words in there that denote where you are. So let's say in your services page, you say, we really make sure we service our customers in San Antonio, Texas. We really make sure that we service our customers in Baltimore, Maryland. You want to put something in there that brings, so when someone puts Google cleaning companies near me, if you've got your location within your website, guess what? You're going to start showing up on the Google searches. And guess what? That's how they're going to find you. So if you implement the Google, the local, go to HubSpot and find that article I'm talking about with the 57 free directories, this is a great start to do what? Attract your customers. And that's the first thing we need to do. We have to get business. Our whole focal point is getting customers when we first get started, or if we've been doing it for a while, and if your phone is not ringing 3, 4, 5 times a day, or if people aren't going to your website looking for quotes, you're not getting enough traffic. You should be getting at least 4, 5, 6 phone calls a day. If that's not happening and you're not closing, then we've got to make sure we increase that. So the next thing you want to do is break it down into 2 areas. You've got organic, that's the free, and you have paid. Google Ads is one way of getting paid ads. Now, there's only 3 ways you're going to really get traffic. It may seem like more, but there's 3. There's organic, which we just talked about, doing free stuff, not paying $1, but giving of your time. The next thing is paying for ads, Google Ads, YouTube, Facebook. Facebook and Google Ads are probably the absolute best ads you can use in our industry. They really work well. So you could go onto Google right now and put in cleaning businesses near me, and you're going to see a lot of business come up with these little ads. Those are Google ads. And I like to set a budget of about $30 a month. Might sound low, but I like to do that just to see where the needle is. If I set a budget of $30 and I don't get a bite, then I'm going to look at how good is my ad. Start studying your competition's ads. When you go to Google cleaning businesses near me and you put in where you are, start looking at the ads. You have to know what others are doing to know if you're bringing something better or worse than what they have. You have to compare. So start looking at their ads and looking at what they're saying and looking at where they fall on the page. Are they on page 1, 2, 3? What makes them stand out? Look at their websites. What are they offering? That's what you need to pay attention to, even know how well you're doing. Now, once you look at the Google ads, and you're able to ascertain what they're doing, I would set a budget, like I said, low, and see how well it works. Google Ads normally do not charge you anything unless someone clicks onto that's why you pay for certain keywords. So if you've never done any advertising, Google Ads is a great place, as well as Facebook. So I would start with a budget of $30, no more than 50. And I would work hard at putting an ad where it went once a week, not all at one time. It's the consistency that pays off. So once a week, I would make sure that I had an ad that was on to Google or Facebook. I would try one first before I mixed them up, because you want to see what works. So try Facebook and then try Google. Try Facebook and then Google. And I would toggle back and forth with those until I started to see that it was working. And it's easy because the analytics, and nowadays, when I used to do old-fashioned ads in the newspaper, you didn't know if it worked or not. Sometimes it would, sometimes it wouldn't, you would never know. But nowadays we have a luxury of being able to know, because we get instant information, instant gratification of how well we're doing. So understand there's 3 ways to get traffic: paid, organic, and referrals. You can have someone that does carpet services. You do janitorial. You do not do carpet. They do not do janitorial or windows. I actually partnered with a guy that did windows. We did not do any windows, so we gave him all our window business. I had him on my website, and we were on his website. So he was one of my joint partners. I loved it. I partnered with a window company. I partnered with a moving company. And one of the businesses that I scaled to over 6 figures and beyond, I was able to partner with the move company. And they had a move job, and we made over, I think it was like 35 or $40,000 within 6 weeks because we partnered with them. And every time they moved out a commercial cleaning company, guess what? We went in to clean it. So when you partner with people that are a complement to you and not your competition, you would be surprised how well your business scales. So remember, there's three ways to get traffic. You pay for it, you write articles on blogs, or you do YouTube videos, or you do social media. All of that's free, or you partner with someone. I like to concentrate on the main one, which is bringing traffic free. 70%, 30 or 20 do paid, and 10% if you can do a partnership. But try to feel what feels comfortable with you. The next thing you want to do is, I love it when you are doing cooking. So you've probably seen it when you go to a website and it automatically comes up and talks about cooking. Now, this may be a little bit sophisticated, but you can have cookies on your website. I would try to do that myself. I would definitely try to do that. The reason why is because when someone visits your website, guess what? You know they're interested. So this is how you get individuals that want you. You're sending messages out there by doing all the marketing we're talking about. And now people are starting to respond by looking at your website. Well, you want to make sure that you are able to retarget them once they leave, because most people are not going to buy from you after one time, two, three, four. It normally takes 7 times before someone visits your website or have some kind of exposure to you before they purchase from you, especially in janitorial. You've got to give them the alarm code, the keys. You got to give a lot of stuff. So a lot of people are like, I don't know. I don't really know these people yet, to give them all of this, to have access to all of our information. So it's a lot about trust. I did landscaping and janitorial, and I was able to get landscaping contracts a lot faster because it's outside, as opposed to janitorial when it's indoors and they've got to give you access to everything they have. So there is a lot more involved with that relationship than landscaping. But you want to do cookie, you want to retarget, and you definitely want to have a lead magnet. A lead magnet is what pops up, like on my website, it talks about this masterclass. I do too, a government and commercial. So it actually brings up a pop-up that says, I would love for you to attend my masterclass and learn how to get extra, make sure that you have 10 times more customers than what you have right now. When you see that, if you're interested, which most people are, that's why they're visiting the website, will put in their name, and now they're on my mailing list like you are. So that's what you want to have. Have something. And in our industry, I think the best thing to give on your website is a checklist. Give a checklist for your potential customers. Now, remember, your customers are cleaning people that have cleaning facilities, or your customers are companies that are looking for cleaning individuals to do their business. So they may want a checklist on how to make sure you keep their customers safe, or how do they keep their employees safe. So think about a checklist, and you can go on to this product. It's free. It's called ConvertiKit. It's CONVER of ConvertiKit, CONVERTKIT. So convertikit.com is absolutely free. You can create lead magnets, all of the things you can do where you can actually, you know, obtain visitors' email addresses. So that is BAM. That's how we get the attraction. Also, you want to make sure, like we talked about, understanding Facebook ads. That's a good thing to do. And now we're going to talk about the second step, which is, how do we get them? Now we're rocking and rolling. We've got our phones ringing. We've got 5, 6 people calling a day, where at first there was one or none. Now we've got 5, 6. We've implemented the 7 steps that I've gone over. We've taken some great notes. And now we're going to check off what we're going to do first, second, third, fourth, and fifth. You need to make sure that you implement what I give you. And as you do that, you're going to really start to see a difference, because I know I really did. And that's one of the things that is my job in this masterclass, is to make sure you do that. So the second thing we want to do is, now, like I said, we're rocking and rolling. We are actually at the location to do our walkthrough. So make sure you end up there like 15 minutes before, have your business cards, and you're ready to do your walkthrough. That's the second step. You've gone from the first step, which is the attraction. Now we want to not just do walkthroughs all the time, we want to land the contract. So that's our second step called customer acquisition. So, secret number two, what do you need to do to make that happen? Well, you must give them something more than cleaning. You've got to make sure that you give them something more than just the cleaning. That is really, really, really important. So, now that you know that they're looking for you to come do your walkthroughs, now you want to make sure that you're doing something to give them so that they are excited about you. And what you want to do is you want to give them three things. You want to create an irresistible offer. You want to give them something absolutely they cannot say no to. And you want to make sure that you're offering them something than just cleaning. Everyone can clean. So cleaning is not the thing. The thing needs to be, what are you going to do that's different? So let's think about it like this. You want to give them, you know what their problem is. You want to give them the process on how you're going to solve their problem. And you want to make sure that you give them the promise of what it's going to look like once you're done. So it should be solving their problem. What is your process going to look like to solve their problem? And then what are they going to have after you're done? So that comes down to making sure that you give them something that makes them not say no. The first thing you want to give them is a sense of urgency. What are you going to give them that's going to make them urgently wanting your product? The other thing you're going to make sure is you're going to create that urgency. And it could be a limited amount of something you're going to give them. It could be a time frame where the offer of giving them 20% off is going to not be what they're allowed. You're going to not have that. Or you're going to make sure that you are giving them a special bonus if they sign up, but give them a sense of urgency so there's a time frame they must respond. Give them the fear of missing out. Let them know how good and how great your service is. And if they do not receive your service, what's that going to cost them? The cost of them not actually utilizing your business could be just as expensive as is if they bought something. So think about what it's going to cost them and convey that in your marketing. And my favorite is your something unique. What are you offering them that is uniquely yours? What is that something special? Something that you do that is totally different than almost any other cleaning company. It could be your great customer service. It could actually be your money back guarantee. Like you give them a certain money back guarantee. It could be something you add, but think about giving them and bundling something together other than just cleaning. No one wants just cleaning. They want you to solve a problem. They want you to bring security. They want other than just cleaning. Anyone can clean. So you've got to give them something other than just cleaning. Now, secret number three is our customer retention. How are we going to keep them? So now we're popping, we're rocking and rolling. The phones are ringing. We're doing our walkthroughs. We got like 5 other, phone calls. Now it's up to 10 a day. Then we're going in, we've created something unique. We've got this clean shield or this enhanced cleaning program that we've introduced to our customers and they love it. Now they're ready to sign the contract. How do we keep them? So we want to understand, because think about it. It costs so much more to get a new customer than it ever does to keep them. So you want to make sure that the first thing you do is you meet the customer's expectations. I didn't say exceed. You understand and make sure that you understand clearly what are their expectations. What are they expecting from you? The second thing is you want to make sure that you develop a customer feedback loop. You want to know what is being said about you. Are they going to renew? Are they thinking of renewing the contract? You should never be surprised when someone doesn't want to renew with you. You should know that, because you should have consistent feedback coming to you where you know the pulse of all your customers. You want to create a customer loyalty program so that way you are able to show those that are loyal to you how loyal you want to be to them. This is really important. Everyone likes being, on some kind of customer loyalty program, and some of them are really, really, really great, like Nordstrom's and Neiman Marcus, and what is that? Tropicgrill with Panera Bread. They have great customer loyalty programs. So design a simple customer loyalty program for your customers that renew their contracts over and over and over, and make sure that you give that to them. The other thing we do is we create a disinfecting system for you. We do we show you how to create the system. Our system is called shield it's called Shield Clean, and it is a disinfecting system that we've implemented, and we really show you how to create your system as well. In today's environment, you must do cleaning, sanitizing, and disinfecting to be effective. Now, how are you going to put all this together? It's going to be through my escape method. My escape method framework is the very method that I use, not to scale one, not two, but three cleaning businesses, all three in less than a year. So I'm going to show you exactly step by step what my method looks like. So the first thing it's going to do is going to do customer attraction, acquisition, and retention. So we look at the E for execute. That is implementing everything in the beginning, everything we need to get our foot on the ground and get a footing and a great foundation is through our execute. It looks like our LLC, if we're going to be a sole proprietor and doing business as a DBA, everything you need to get executed, your business account, your checking account, do you have an EIN number? Are you registered with your state? All of that is what you need. So many people skip that part, but it's one of the most important. The next are your systems. It's in blue. What do you need to do to get all your systems up and going? Your systems and how you're going to market your business, to how you're going to get your employees, to every part of your business needs to be systematized. Well, that's where the S comes in for systems. Next is all about the cash. The cash is all about the money. It's in green. What do you need to do to make sure that you get your money faster and more profit? Because in our industry it can be down with a very little low margin, and we want to make sure that we increase that. And who said that we have to wait 30 days for our money? We can get it where it's half when we first get started, or that we get paid in 2 weeks instead of waiting 30 days. The next thing is all about the automation. This is where you go from working to freedom. The automation is important. Automate everything we can. We want to make sure we systematize and make sure that everything is automated. So that's what the A for, and it's in purple. Everything you need to do to automize your business is going to be in purple. Next, there's P and our customers. We must have both. So our P is going to be in brown. Everything we need to do, we're going to have a complete operations manual on what we need to do to make sure that we keep our people working and our customers happy. And the last thing is we have a system where we evaluate it, we rinse and repeat all over again. We keep what's really working for us and we get rid of what's not. This is going to get your customer attraction, your acquisition, and your retention all in one. This is the very method, the blueprint that I use to scale all three of my business, and I've gotten tremendous results for lots and lots of entrepreneurs that are my students. So what you want is to get a big, fat, resounding yes. Yes, yes, yes is what you want to receive. And you want to get that in 30 days. So if you are in this classroom setting on this masterclass and you know that you want to learn more, then I would love to invite you to my class. And this is our brag bank. I love it. Hello, Miss M. This course has made me serious money and lots of great stuff. I'm so glad that I found your channel. This person and everyone should have a brag bank. It lets people know the results of what you're able to get. And these is another testimony that we have from a gentleman that had no experience in cleaning, and this was last year. He's doing phenomenal. This is another gentleman that we had that had been doing the cleaning for over 15 years for someone else. This is a young lady that was once doing hair, and now she's doing the cleaning and she loves it. And this is one of my prize students. She started out with one contract. Now she's well over 6 figures and more. She's doing very well. And she took input and implemented everything. She was on page 8 and now she's on page 2 of Google. So this is called my customer cleaning. It's called Commercial Cleaning Customer Journey Course, Academy of Cleaning. It's valued at $397. And You also receive our virtual summit traffic secrets. It's valued at $297. This is where we spend the whole day showing you just how to drive traffic to your business. Then we help you set up your disinfecting system, which is valued at $497. Then I love saying no mindset, no money. You've got to get the mindset right. So I show you how to have the mindset of a six-figure business boss. That's valued at $97. And let's look at all that you received. So you received the escape course for $397, the customer cleaning course valued at $497, the private Facebook group at $397, our summit traffic at $297, a six-figure mindset module at $97, and our special bonus of social media at $47. It's normally valued over $1,600, and today you receive this for $297 up until midnight. This special offer expires at midnight, and it's because you took the time to actually look at this masterclass. So, who is ready?